This is going to be the first video of a new series. I'm going to try to do something new. Typically I just have some cool scenery and put it together with some music on my videos, but I'm actually going to try to do a series of me converting my 2017 CRF450R into a street legal motard.
Solar sail on the roof, make the world work for you. I reside out the loop, words are better when they're true. Ash falling hit the roots of the rhythm time of boots. Watch the wind assist the bloom trees, sing my favorite tune. Now the birds.
So this is my 2017 CRF450R. I purchased it new from a dealership in 2017 when it was the brand new model that Honda had, and really love this bike. I rode and raced it on motocross tracks until 2019, and then I stopped riding. So I've had it sitting around for about 2 years and haven't done anything with it, and I was on the fence about selling it, and as you can see, it's got new plastics on it, and I had it pretty much prepped, ready to go to be sold. And right before I listed it, I just couldn't do it, and I had the idea, like, why don't I build a motard out of it? And so this one is for sale. This is my 2008. In 2016, I converted it from a dirt bike into a motard. And the only thing I regret about this was I didn't document any of it. So we're gonna be doing it differently this time. I'm gonna try to make a video series. It's just me shooting. So I had originally intended today to actually start the build, and I came down here to the shop and it was a mess. Everything was kind of like laid out and nothing was put away, organized. The drawers where all the parts are gonna go, they were full of other stuff. So I spent today basically cleaning up the shop, and tomorrow, the first thing we're gonna do is start with the frame down and tearing this thing apart. And it takes about 4 hours to get a bike apart into all the components, the bolts, into baggies, everything organized, labeled. And I think we'll start that tomorrow. But for today, I'm just gonna make a quick video of the tour, a quick video of the shop, tour around it, show you how I organize things, lay things out, some of the tools I use, and just how the flow will go. So I'll be starting out with a clean shop, well lit, and everything put away. There's no point in starting a project like this if you're just gonna lose bolts on a dirt floor or not have good enough lighting to see what you're doing. So I have a decent stand. I don't remember where I got this, but it's just like a generic scissor lift stand, and that saves your back so much. So I'm 6 foot tall, and if I had to work on this bike like I would on this bike, it being on the stand, it kills your back. It kills your back having to bend over like that all the time. So these stands are awesome. It actually goes a little bit higher, but it's where it is for today. Tools. So there's a couple toolboxes in here, and the main one where I use everything is going to be this guy. So all your common, ratchets, sockets, everything's organized, ready to roll. And the main tools that you use, I just keep in a box close by. Everything cleaned up on top. And then the couple just metric wrenches that you're always grabbing at, keep those at the ready. Over here, this toolbox has like, this guy's gonna have all your torque wrenches in it, precision measurement stuff, and then pliers, channel locks, getting a little more chaotic. And then below this one, this is where I keep all the parts. So I call this the bagging drawer. So you're gonna see as we take this bike apart, everything's gonna come apart and put into a bag with a label on it. And then once it's labeled, down in this drawer, it's gonna go into a couple different aluminum pans. And that's how we keep track of that. And then as you get farther away from the main work area, you can store some of the tools that you use less often. So this is the bike specific drawers. We got for the 17, this is what I drain the oil with, a couple bolts, oil filters, and then the shim kit for the 2017, and then the 08, its shim kit, some extra jets, needles, because of course that's carbureted, and some other stuff, and then all the common bike tools, random stuff. So the sink area, it's nice because it got running hot and cold water. And then this is, you'll see me using this a lot later on. This is actually an ultrasonic cleaner. So I can fill that up with, it's got a heater in it, and I can fill that up with, the stuff I've been using is really good. It's called the Lumabrite, and it works great on all the aluminum stuff on the bike. Over here, so you can see all the old race plastics are in that bag there. This is the parts washer, and I basically have a 4-gallon tank of kerosene over here, and then I'm able to use a pump down below to basically wash the parts in. I actually made that a long time ago. So we just have an extra bench here for laying parts out on. So how this is going to go tomorrow, everything gets taken off the bike and then put into baggies. So whatever it came from, whether it's the rear suspension, the body, even down to the license plate. And I can't stress enough proper labeling, because the easiest bolt that you think you'll remember where it came from, you take it off, it gets lost among the other bolts, and then you can't remember what bolt went to what. So even if I take something off and it comes off with 2 bolts, they go into a baggie and they get labeled and filed away in that aluminum drawer that I showed you in the brown toolbox, so that there's no mistake in it. And you know, it's a good way to not lose any parts and make sure you have everything that you started with at the end of the project. So for the bike, some of the plans are, I'm gonna be sending this exhaust back to Yoshimura to have him just get some of the, just freshen it up, get some of these nicks out, a couple rock dents from the time that this thing spent racing. The engine is gonna be fully rebuilt, bottom end and top end. The valves have been great so far, and they haven't drifted at all, so I don't think I'm gonna have to do anything with the cylinder head, but I'll end up replacing the top end, including the cylinder. It's just cheap insurance when you're trying to make this thing last, and it's also not going to be operated like it did on the track. It's going to be operated like a street motorcycle would, just very smooth throttle. Of course, the wheels are gonna have to get changed out, and I'm not sure what I'm going to use for that. I used Warp 9s on my other Motard, and they've been fine, but if I could find some Excels, that'd be pretty nice, because I always wish I did have better wheels on this one than the Warps, but they were cheap at the time. So this 17 did not come with an electric starter, and that's one thing I'm definitely going to be doing, is putting an electric start kit on it. So during the process of rebuilding the motor, when the whole motor's apart anyway, I'm gonna get that kit and make this into an electric start. And then that'll also be good, because I'm gonna have to make a DOT wiring harness for it to be road legal. So it's already gonna, having the electric start is gonna give it 12 volts, and I'll be able to use that 12 volt battery that's gonna be mounted somewhere back here for all the wiring, the headlight and stuff like that. Speaking of electrical, I was looking around, and I think I'm gonna go with the Baja Design Squadron headlight kit off of CRF450L. I'll probably, so what I'm gonna be doing is getting a 450L front headlight kit, and then just make that work with a Motard front fender. These brakes that I had on this bike were the Motomaster 320 millimeter 4 pistons, and these things are incredible. Anytime I've had to let anybody else use this bike, I always have to explain to them to be real easy with the brakes, because they'll flip you over the front. So we're going to be doing the same thing with this, and of course the shocks, all the oil is leaked out of the shocks, so I'm gonna have to rebuild those, which I wanted to do anyway, since it'll be on the street. Never done a video series before or committed to one. Normally, like I said, most of my videos are just have a theme. I spent a lot of time editing them, making them flow, look nice, changing the lighting and the coloring and everything, and setting it to some good music. So I'm gonna maybe shoot some glamour shots here after this, and hopefully I can get maybe someone to come and hold the camera a couple days while I'm down here working, so it's not just all me, FaceTiming you guys. But really looking forward to this build. It's one thing I regret not doing with the 2008, and it'll be pretty cool to see where this thing started when it's done. So let's get to it.